Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, we are 19 days away from the 2026 Daytona 500. So we're going to profile car number 19. 1,718 races in the Cup Series. Now, when I think of the 19, obviously the more recent ones of the Martin Truex Jr.'s, the Chase Briscoes, but I also think back of Elliott Sadler and Loy Allen Jr. when he had the Hooters sponsorship when he won the pole at Daytona. And so it's just kind of that gamut of, and then even the Ray Everham days. And it was Casey Atwood, wasn't it, I think, if I remember correctly. So yeah, there's just so many different iconic drivers. Obviously, Carl Edwards, we all know, how he almost won the championship that year. So yeah, there's so many iconic drivers that have driven the 19 that, depends on what era you became a fan, is what era you're, automatically think of when you think of the number 19. 91 different drivers for those 1,718 races. 5 different drivers won 26 races, 150 top 5s, 416 top 10s, 32 poles for that number 19. First race was June 19th, 1949. Last race was November 2nd, 2025. 583 times it was a Ford, 475 times a Toyota, obviously currently a Toyota. 350 Dodge, 292 Chevrolet, 41 Buick, 39 Mercury, 14 Plymouth, 10 Pontiac, and 9 Oldsmobile. Henley Gray actually has the most starts in the number 19, 231, 24 top 10s, average finish of 20.4. Now, when I started doing these countdowns and started doing some other videos we'll do next off season, kind of some, pre-production planning for them, a lot of it was based off of on NASCAR XM Radio, Dave Moody's Legends Series. The very last question he asked everyone, how do you want to be remembered in the sport? And Richard Petty says, to me at least, one of the great ones, he goes, I just want to be remembered. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I got thinking, I'm like, you know what? How many people are part of the fabric and foundation of NASCAR over the last 77 years that we don't necessarily talk about? We talk about the champions, talk about more recent drivers, current drivers, obviously. But a driver like a Henley Gray, how many times does his name come up in a conversation about NASCAR? Not very often at all. So I thought this is a great way to remember drivers like Henley Gray and Herm Beam and Mike Bliss, and drivers that don't normally talk about on a daily basis, monthly basis. Martin Truex Jr., 216 starts in that number 19, 15 wins, 60 top 5s, 110 top 10s, average finish of 13.2. Herman Beam, 194 starts, 3 top 5s, 57 top 10s, average finish of 14.0. Jeremy Mayfield, 165 starts, 2 wins, 15 top 5s, 38 top 10s, average finish of 20.5. Elliott Sadler, 158 starts, 3 top 5s, 18 top 10s, average finish of 24.5. Carl Edwards, 72 races, which was 2 seasons, and then he is abruptly retired, which I'm glad he's back in the Hall of Fame. He's kind of back around the sport now. Now, would it be cool if he got in a car? Yeah, it probably would, but, sometimes just remember the past, and we don't need a shell of your former self out there. There's a lot of drivers back in the 80s and 90s, obviously drivers didn't make as much then, especially drivers that came up in the 70s. And so they maybe hung on a little too long. Luckily for me as a fan, when I remember a Terry Labonte or a Bill Elliott, I don't remember the later years as much as I remember when they won and when they were in their top rides and when they won their championships. But there are some drivers, Dale Jarrett, that kind of at the very end of the career was just basically in a car just to give them starts because they had the champion provisional because, the recent championships. So, if Carl chooses not to come back, that's awesome. If he does, I hope he doesn't become one of those kind of, at the end of his career, so. 72 starts, 5 wins in that number 19, 16 top 5s, 33 top 10s, average finish of 13.9. Chase Briscoe, his one and only season in that number 19, 36 starts, 3 wins, 15 top 5s, 19 top 10s, average finish of 12.7. He was in the championship 4 with a shot to win the championship. So yeah, what more can you ask? On the Xfinity side, I know it's a Raleigh Auto Parts series, but the last race was ran under the Xfinity banner. So for these next 19 videos, it will be the Xfinity series. Once we do the season preview and then the chase preview, it will be the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Now, occasionally I'll probably slip. I may even go Budweiser Grand National, or Budweiser Late Model Series. That's the original name for the series. So the Busch Series, a lot of people call it Busch Grand National. But yeah, for these 19 videos, it will be the Xfinity Series, and then once the season gets underway, it's the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. 735 starts for the number 19, 58 different drivers. 7 drivers won 15 races, 87 top 5s, 203 top 10s. February 13th, 1982 was the first race. Last race was November 1st, 2025. Brandon Jones, 165 starts, 5 wins, 35 top 5s, 84 top 10s, average finish of 14.1. Mike Bliss, 110 starts, 4 top 10s, average finish of 20.4. Tom Peck, 59 starts, 4 top 5s, 16 top 10s, average finish of 16.8. Tim Sauter, 36 starts, 7 top 10s, average finish of 19.8. Daniel Suarez, 33 starts, this was his championship year, 3 wins, 19 top 5s, 27 top 10s, average finish of 8.0. Matt Tifft, 33 starts, 2 top 5s, 13 top 10s, average finish of 13.6. Eric Almirola, 28 starts, 3 wins, 8 top 5s, 11 top 10s, average finish of 15.5. Eric Almirola brings up a good thing that's popped into my head. I know a lot of people have talked about the limit on what Cup drivers can race in Xfinity and in truck. Now, that's only referring to current active full-time Cup drivers. So somebody like an Eric Almirola, Jimmy Johnson, they don't have that rule where they can only race some X number of Xfinity and truck because they're not full-time. I know, like, when it comes to the full-time Cup guys, they can't run San Diego, the street course, in the other series, but Jimmy Johnson can because Jimmy Johnson's not full-time. So there's that, and even the full-time drivers, I think 3 years. If it's 3 years or longer in Cup, you can only run 8 races in Xfinity, or is it 10 Xfinity, 8 trucks, something like that now. And then if you have less than 3 years, you can run more. Not sure if it's unlimited. I know Connor Zilic, I think he signed up for 8, maybe 8 or 12 Xfinity races, so we'll see we'll gauge what that actual number is for the drivers with less than 3 years experience based on what Connor Zilic does. On the truck side, first race was March 7th, 1996. Last race was October 31st, 2025. 24 different drivers, 376 starts, 6 different drivers, 17 wins, 101 top 5s, 184 top 10s. Derek Croft, 73 starts, 4 top 5s, 26 top 10s, average finish of 16.1. Tony Raines, 51 starts, 4 wins, 11 top 5s, 22 top 10s, average finish of 14.5. Daniel Hemrick, 48 starts, 1 win, 21 top 5s, 32 top 10s, average finish of 8.3. Christian Eckes, 46 starts, 8 wins, 25 top 5s, 35 top 10s, average finish of 8.3. I kind of wish he would have stayed with Colic and went to the Dodge, or Ram or Colic. I think he's such a young talent. I'm glad he went back to ride with McNally Hoogeman Racing. But he's that driver I think Ram could have built around and Dodge could have built around. Hopefully maybe next year when and if Dodge does come back to the Xfinity or O'Reilly Auto Parts and Cup Series, he can be kind of an anchor in that O'Reilly Auto Parts Series back with Colic. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. Tyler Reddick, 39 starts in the number 19 truck, 2 wins, 17 top 5, 28 top 10s, average finish 8.1. Now when Hemrick drove it, I believe it was Hemrick or it was Reddick and then Austin Cindric. When they drove the number 19 truck, it was a Dodge Ram at the time, and it was for Brad Keselowski Racing, because he had the 19 and the 29. 23 races for Austin Cindric in the 19 truck, 1 win, 8 top 5, 16 top 10s, and an average finish of 10.2. All right, just 19 days away from the Great American Race, the 2026 Daytona 500. It does look like the clash at Bowman Gray, the cookout clash at Bowman Gray, may get snowed out or snow moved or something. So we'll see what happens there in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I know for everyone complaining, well, it needs to be in Daytona, it should be in Daytona. No, because number one, you can't move back to Daytona now because they don't have speedway cars ready. One. Number two, why do you need 4 races in a week at Daytona? Number three, more people will show up to a 30-degree snow day at Bowman Gray than they showed up for the last 5 clashes at Daytona. There's a reason they moved it out of Daytona, because people weren't showing up for it. So, take it back to LA if you're going to do that. Do the Coliseum again. Anyway, 19 days away. Stay tuned to Robert Sports Show as we count down to the 2026 Daytona 500. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spooky day. Robert Sports Show, your leader in sports channel content.